everybody, my name's Ed Durbis. This is 9 and 3 driving. Today we're driving the 2023 Mercedes CLA 250 4MATIC with a inline 4 turbocharged intercooled double head cam 16 valve, producing 221 horsepower and 250 pounds of torque, and it'll get it from 0 to 60 in just 5.6 seconds and cross the quarter mile at 14.2 at 97 miles an hour for a car that weighs a little over 3,500 pounds, and it's made it to a 7-speed transmission. With all that being said, let's see what this CLA 250 has to offer. So let's get this show on the road. All right, before heading out, let's check out the room inside. Let's look in the back, see how much room. I have the seat exactly where I like to sit. Get inside. It is a little bit of tight squeeze getting in, but once you're in, you're pretty comfortable. I'm 5'7", I got plenty of room on my knees. You can see headroom as well. I got plenty of headroom, plenty of space. Obviously, this is only a 2+2 because you'd be really pressed to fit somebody else in here. Layout's pretty nice, good view from looking out front. We got a nice panel sunroof. You know, this is obviously is a coupe shape, so you can see how the windows come down just like it would in a coupe. All right, let's go see the front. Let's get out. It is a little bit tight. All right, let's get inside. Typical Mercedes, push button start. She comes to life. Pretty intuitive. Nice materials, we'll go over that later. Yeah, nice layout. Here in the dynamic, we change it and we go into sport. That's how we like to drive at 9 and 3. We got nice little paddle shifters, and obviously you can just do that. You go into settings for the car, go back home. You have your smartphone, comfort. That's to adjust the seats. You got your ambient lighting. You got about 19 different colors. You have 9 colors, multi-wing. Okay, go back, and then you apps right there. So overall, pretty nice layout. So let's get going. All right, here we go. Let's test the 250 4MATIC. Just to let you know, we're actually not home. We're in Highland County, all the way in the mountains of Virginia. As you can see, we're climbing up the hill. We're heading back to the Washington, D.C. area, so we got plenty of time to see what this little car can do. We drove it out here just yesterday, and it's about a 3.5-hour drive back to Washington, D.C. So it'll get pretty curvy, so we'll definitely have plenty of roads to do the curvy part, and we'll do it a little bit different when it comes to standstill, but I don't know. Let's just play by ear. Let's see what happens. We did test this car before, but it's the older version. This is the new, sleeker look. It looks more like the big brother, the CLS, which has been discontinued. Excuse me. But just so you know, we got the 250, and then you got a 35, and then you got a 45S. With this one, obviously, like I just mentioned, you got the 221 horsepower. With the 35, you got about 309 horsepower, and the 45S, you got 419 horsepower. So 0 to 60, 5.6 on this one. 0 to 60 in the 35, you're looking at about 4.8, and on the 45S, you're looking at 0 to 60 at 4 seconds flat. So that's pretty good. Obviously, as you move up, you know, the price continues to go up high. The 45, your starting point is about $65,000. But, you know, I think that with that performance, that is pretty epic. So let's see what this entry 250 has to offer. But just to let you know, the last car that we tested was the last version. The power was a little bit under. We were at 208 horsepower. The torque was still the same. It was still made to a 7-speed transmission like this one is. But just in feel, driving it yesterday, and oh, hello, Mr. Semi, you still get a different feel for it. So, with that being said, since we got a Semi in front of us, we got to concentrate and find a place to pass it. So, we'll touch base back in just a few. All right, here we go. Let's check out how she does in the twisties. And so far, we've been cruising down, and handles pretty well, stays pretty flat. There's a good weight to the steering wheel. As you can see, it can just boogie around these bends. I mean, it just gives you the confidence to drive it hard. And I can't imagine how fantastic it would feel driving an AMG version of this car, because just the amount of power this car has, it's entertaining enough. You just go around here, give it a little gas, come around the bends, no drama whatsoever. Holds its own. Minimal body roll. Like I said, we have in sports, the engine's in sports, transmission in sport, and the dynamics all in sport, and it's just riding beautifully. No hesitation from the inline 4. Beautiful 9 and 3 driving road. We do have the paddles, as I mentioned, but no need for it. The transmission knows exactly what it wants to do. Come to a nice sharp turn here. Yep. Transmission downshift. Out, accelerate. That all-wheel drive system's helping us out. No drama. Up the hill we go. Just obviously a little slight noise from the engine because it is a 4-cylinder after all. But other than that, it's just perfect. I'll catch you guys back in a minute, see how we do when we go down the hill. All right, here we go. Heading back down the mountains. Perfectly fine. It just turns in exactly where you want it to. A little gas. I do wish the seats were a little more huggy for this type of road. Obviously, I'm sure with the AMG version you do get those. But yep. It just loves going down these twisties. It loved it going up, loves it going down. Brakes are perfectly fine, they're strong. They lack a little bit of feel, I do have to say that. But you do have the confidence, it does give you confidence that you know that it's gonna come to a halt, need be. You can hear the gear, it's just, the transmission is just beautiful. It just knows exactly what gear you wanna be in, and it keeps it there on that gear without going to upshift. Perfect transition there. Oh, look to we have reached another slowmobile. So on that note, now you got my take on how this thing handles around these twisty roads. And as you can see, I'm just having a blast. All right, guys, I'll catch you guys in a few, and we'll do a little test run from 0 to 60, and then we'll do, as usual, our final thoughts. All right, here we go. From standstill, let's see what she's got. For all the beans and marbles. Throttle down. It took it a minute or so for that turbo spew up. No drama whatsoever. That 4MATIC system just kicked in and took her off. But I gotta tell you, I wish I had that one of either a 35 or a 45S, because that would make it extremely brutal takeoff. I'm sure that the 45S at 0 to 60 in 4 seconds is being conserved. That's a number that Mercedes is giving, but Mercedes are very conservative with their numbers, so I'm sure that is actually down probably in the 3.9s or so. Same thing with the 35 conserved number at 4.8. Just to give you an idea, the Mercedes gave it a conservative 6.3 on this car, but on all those everything that I've read and all the tests that have been done, it gets it down to where I mentioned earlier at the 5.6, 5.8 thereabouts. So yeah, not bad. All right, let's get going. We're about to hit Interstate 81 and head back to Washington, D.C. So catch you guys in a few, and I'll give you my breakdown of my thoughts on this car. All right, there you have it. We're just getting into Northern Virginia. We have about 22 miles left to get into Washington, D.C. And my thoughts on the CLA 250 4MATIC. The car has been absolutely fantastic. I've had it for 2 days. I put about 9 hours of driving, 4 hours out and 4 hours in, and it has been absolutely flawless. At cruising speeds, no issues whatsoever. It just cruises. You do have to keep an eye on the speedometer because it does get up there pretty quick if you're not paying attention. Visibility has been actually really good, surprising enough, being that it is a coupe shaped kind of car. The B-pillar does not really get in the way here, or even when you look over to the other side, when you do make it change lanes, it's not in the way. Panoramic sunroof is absolutely fantastic. It does make you feel like you got more room, more space in this car. The vents on the for the cabin control, they're almost like jet turbines, which is actually pretty cool. The lighting works really the indoor lighting looks pretty awesome. The temperature control buttons are also very intuitive. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure that out, and just go through the screens as well is very easy. Very typical Mercedes-Benz of today. One huge leap over the last generation of this car. I mean, the last one was had way too much plasticky inside, and it just didn't really, the interior did not really say Mercedes-Benz. This really does. And design-wise, it looks absolutely fantastic, especially if you get a 35 or a 45S. They look really mean and aggressive, and it gives it really nice aerodynamic shape to it. So it looks really fantastic. Driving, it was fantastic in the curvy roads. It did really well. Same thing. And the only thing, seat-wise, it's been fantastic on the highway. The only issue that I had, and I mentioned that earlier, that I wish I had a little more bolstering on the sides when we were going around the twisty turns. Other than that, it's been very comfortable. So like I said, you know, plenty of room for 4 people. Yes, 4 people. That's basically what you can carry. Plenty of room in the trunk to carry as much stuff as you want for a long weekend like I just did. And other than that, yeah, I highly recommend it. If you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please do subscribe. It does help the channel a lot. I can't wait to we're almost close to 600 subscribers. We need 5 more. Let's just get it done before the end. Let's shoot for the mid-September or so, okay? Let's try to do that. Comments always do help, and actually one question I do have in my reviewers, everything that I read, it says this has a 7-speed transmission, but when we're cruising at a good speed, it pointed out that it was actually cruising at sports mode and D8. So if anybody knows what that is all about, share that comment. I really would appreciate that. Thumbs up, like I said, share the video, and more importantly, turn on that notification bell on. Ding! I can't wait to see you guys in the next video, and don't forget to tune in. Until then, bye.